Hey, I'm straight up off the block, hopped in the phone and pushed the top back. I've been hustling for a long time and I can't stop that. Big like I'm it, best believe it, and them all back. Yeah, I be ballin' all the time, I'm point guard and a quarterback.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another A1 Hoops Report. This is called the Carolina Culture, where I'm going to reach out to local coaches, athletes, and individuals around here in the upstate in South Carolina. You know what, man? We're just going to be talking hoops, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Today, I have an extremely, and I mean extremely special guest with me today. I don't get to talk to too many guys that's has this type of prestige because, like LeBron say, not one, not two, not three, not four, but five-time state champion head coach of the Gray Collegiate Academy War Eagles, Coach Dion Bethea. Coach, thank you so much for joining me. Oh, hold on, Coach. Let me get you on. It ain't let me add you. There we go. There we go. We good. What's going on, Coach?
Man, I appreciate you having me on, man. I'm doing well, man.
Nah, hey man, as always, thank you so much for reaching out to me. Just talking ball, like it's a privilege to even receive that phone call from you, man, and just chop it up. But what we was talking about, I thought was just so important that I kind of wanted to bring it over here to social media so we could talk to it with other people. Well, first off, how's your Sunday going?
Man, it's going well. It's going well. Got up this morning, cooked some breakfast with wife and my girls, but got a little downtime and just relaxing. That's it.
That's what's up. Just like I stated in the first, man, 5-time state championship. The fifth one, did that feel a little different, or how different did it feel from winning the first one?
It was different. Really hadn't had a chance to celebrate it yet. We did some stuff for the boys, but we really waiting for the rings to come in, and that'll be in the beginning of next month. So give us an opportunity to really celebrate winning five. I really feel like that's impressive. Us have an opportunity to get five championships at Gray.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's extremely impressive to me. I mean, anytime you reach that fifth and you get that one ring, I mean that to me enters definitely GOAT status. So you're amongst some legendary people right here in South Carolina, man. And I'm sure I'm not the first, but definitely congratulations for even reaching that plateau.
Hey, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Nah, no problem. But let's talk about it, man. This upcoming draft, we got one of our South Carolina guys here that you know extremely close in Gigi Jackson. We had one go last year in Bryce McGowens, which I know is extremely close here in the upstate. Being around Gigi for so long, like, what are these teams going to get out of athlete of that caliber?
Well, I just had an opportunity just to watch him at afar. Watching Coach Stoneman coach him during his time at Ridgeview and stuff. The kid got great size, length, athleticism, and is very skilled. I think that any team that get a chance to draft them, they getting themselves, somebody that's going to work really hard. The kid, he's shown that he's tough on the defensive end as well. So I think that he get with the right situation and get around some good veteran pros. I think he can learn a lot from those guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up some NBA mock drafts while we're speaking as well. What team would you think would be the best fit for
Just like I said, just somebody that got good vets.
him?
The league, it looks like it's getting younger and younger every year. But definitely got to be somebody that has a need, for what he's bringing, and might not need to be something that's needed right now, but give him an opportunity to kind of grow in that organization and give him a chance to grow as a person on and off the court.
And I follow draft.net a lot. They're pretty deep into their analysis. They have them going number 11 to Orlando. I don't know if I like that fit. Because that's the complete opposite of what you was talking about. It's extremely young team, um, organization wise on the up and up. I think Shaq is in the process, or he's trying to purchase the Magic. At least he
Yeah.
wants to. But I don't know, man. That's a young team. I do think at number 10 will be perfect. Number 10 is Dallas Mavericks. He
Oh
helped
yeah.
Luka spread the floor. He will fit in so perfect in Dallas.
So will he fit in if Kyrie there?
Ooh. I don't think Kyrie is staying in Dallas. I think he was one and done. You can
Yeah.
almost see it in his face. Um, I do think that the Mavericks themselves, they didn't want to look bad making that trade for Kyrie, so they're going to do everything possible to re-sign him. But for some reason, I just got this. I don't think he liked it in Dallas.
Yeah. Well, just being over there with that organization, man, having that opportunity to be there with them in training camp. The great thing about Dallas is, the management is great, of course. Like a big brother to me, Nico Harrison, and the job that he's doing over there. But they have some good veteran pros. A guy like a Theo Pinson,
Mm.
who played on that CP3 organization, the same one that Gigi came out of. So I'm
Hmm.
pretty sure there's some ties there as well. So, I think it'll be an opportunity for him to sit there and actually grow around some people that's been around it for a while.
So I'm just going through, and I mean, because we have time, kind of,
Mhm.
because I think he's going to go top 15 guaranteed. I'm just
Mhm.
looking at it. So of course you got the Spurs. That's a wash. They're going to go Victor. Then you have Charlotte, and they're saying, Brandon Miller, a small forward. What does GG consider a three or a four? They're listing him at a power forward right now.
Yeah, I think he's a stretch four.
Stretch four, okay.
But in the NBA too, just watching those guys, and I mean, Tyler, you see it. I think it's positionless basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was saying like, hey, is this person a point guard? I'm like, dang, the point guards in the league, man. Like,
I
I mean,
mean,
you still got CP3 and like who else after that?
yeah,
You know?
because I, I mean, because it's now to the point where like I'm looking at this, they have Scoot going to Portland, and my initial thought was, but that doesn't make any damn sense. Why would they need two guards? But Dame is considered a point, but he can run the two as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, with that positionless play, I would like GG in Portland.
yeah, yeah. And I think too, like those execs, man. I think they really trying to position themselves with getting some older guys, some guys who are proven, and maybe
Mhm.
trade those picks, because Brandon Miller to Charlotte, man, it's like, man, Miles Bridges coming back, you
Yeah,
know,
aren't they going to bring Miles back though? That's a lot of people been asking me, and from what I gather, it seemed like they are,
yeah.
but they just kind of wanted everything to kind of die down PR wise. But I think they're pretty locked in on Miles.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's some stuff that he had to go through, anytime like any player dealing with something like that, of course, the organization want to make sure that they put the time in, to the situation, making it better. But Miles Bridges is a heck of a basketball player. I
Hmm.
mean, you got McGowan there, you got PJ Washington, you got a lot of guys who are similar, to the kid Brandon. I don't know if that makes sense. You bring in another one,
I agree.
so now you got a bunch of wings on the team, which is fine, but now it's like teams just drafting the best player and not actually what they need.
Yeah, the fit. Like I said, I'm looking just. I mean, top five picks. Like none of these picks are really making a whole lot of sense to me. And even after you got Houston, I definitely wouldn't want him in Houston because that is a disaster, and
Mhm.
especially if James Harden decides to actually go back. Yeah, if he goes back to Houston, the entire purpose of going young, throw that out the window because nobody's going to develop if he's on the team. It's just it's not happening. It's proven. Last time they tried it, he demanded a trade to Brooklyn, and so
Okay. Hey, that's why I made my post, man. I said Victor was like, "Hey, if I'm going to Houston, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm staying overseas." He was like, "I'm not coming," So
I don't blame him, man. Houston is that's it's a horrible organization. It's a crazy situation to be in. I tell you what, though, if he drops 13, or even 12, two more perfect teams I think would be great. OKC and Toronto.
Hmm. Oh
Just
yeah.
because of the way Toronto plays. I know they have they got AG Anobi and Pascal Siakam over there, but still they need someone coming off the bench. And if he plays the four, that helps Toronto out tremendously. And OKC, it seems like they got so many weapons over there. I just want to see him in with the young guns so he can grow with them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I think too, man, a lot of it's got to do with the head coach,
Mhm.
what the expectation is going to be when he do get that opportunity. If you expected him to come in and give you 30, I don't think that's fair to him
Right.
because he does have to transition from college to the pro level, and that's why I just kept saying, like, for him, it's so good. It'll be great for him to be around some guys, who are good pros and who done been through it, because a lot of times they hit that wall, man, and you got to have somebody that you can sit there and lean on and talk to.
hmm Now, one team that I saw down there at 14 was Atlanta. Do you think it'd be good for him to stay closer to home?
Like I think that, you know, I don't think it really matters. The NBA is set up to kind of keep a lot of that stuff on the outside.
Right.
Him being closer, I think it'll be good for him from a family standpoint because his family is here and can get to him. But I don't think that he will struggle being home. The kid just watching him and just talking with Stoneman. The kid wants to be in the gym. He wants to get better. And that's what you want.
And again, I'm here with Coach Dion Bethea, five-time state champion of Gray Collegiate Academy. Now, let's go ahead and get into pretty much the meat and potatoes of what we was talking about the other day
Mhm.
and why I wanted to have this show with you today. You were saying that a couple of scouts had reached out to you because of the recent John Morant situation, and we'll get into that later if those that may not be familiar with what's going on with John Morant right now. What are these scouts saying to you now about these kids coming out of South Carolina that they really never asked you before?
Well, only because I went through the process with Bryce. You do have a lot of teams that reach out. They're gonna reach out to schools like elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and they definitely want to see what they invest in it.
Hmm.
And a couple of them they've been calling me and asking me questions on do they have any behavior patterns. And it's not just South Carolina kids, because I did coach in the Jordan game, and a lot of those kids that was on our team in the Jordan game are in the draft. A kid like Dylan Mitchell, I got a call about him from the Clippers. But it's just they're trying to do their job and checking the background on a lot of the kids. They want to know who they're hanging out with. Is there anything that we need to, know, like maybe it's something that's not being said. So they're doing their homework, man. And, now, like I said, they just reaching out and just trying to make sure, these kids are good kids.
Yeah, and what a lot of people don't know is, man, with the NBA, the NBA are very are extremely similar to the FBI. Like they do extensive research. They have their own research team. They have their own investigative team. If you're gonna do something off the court, they're gonna find out. Usually 9 times out of 10 on their own investigation. I don't know why people don't seem to notice or take it too seriously, but their investigative team is level wise is up there on the same level with the FBI. They're really good at what they do.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I had one team when Bryce was going through the whole process. They was asking me, if he had any anger issues because he'd always played with a lot of intensity. And the thing about that was with him losing his mom at a young age, when I met him and he started playing for me, he had a lot of buildup, man. And the thing I told him was, when you dunking on somebody or you dunking or you blocking a shot, that can be a way to release that anger, without it being physical or, him running out doing something crazy. So a lot of the teams, they was like, man, is he crazy? I'm like, nah, he's not crazy. I said, that's just, him, just letting out his frustration because he does miss his mother,
Mhm.
So, that's, but like I said, that's part of it. They watching, they don't know. So they asking those type of questions.
Absolutely. So, how many do you currently have any kids that's going to the draft or went through that process last year?
Nah, I don't have any. But a good friend of mine, Sam Gordon, man, his son Jay, he was at Gray for a year. He got a state championship with us, so he was a freshman. And me and Sam do talk a lot, So the kid is having a lot of success, and all those South Carolina kids, we pull for all of them, and we want them to do well. So, just listen to him and how that process is going for them you know, I love it. I love it. I think if you got an opportunity to get to that level, it's nothing like it, experiencing it, and now he's going through that process and, Jay gonna have an opportunity to get drafted.
That's incredible. Always awesome to hear those stories. Um, with Josh's situation and you being a coach and also a mentor of so many young men, what advice, if that was your player,
Mhm.
and this is the second offense in X amount of months, 2 3 months, what would be your advice to him to kind of reel him back in and try to get him back on track?
Well, the biggest thing, like, and I wanted to say this too because it's a lot of stuff going on, and you do have a lot of people that want to voice their opinion and on that situation,
Hmm.
and some of them never been in that situation or know anything about what's going on in that situation. The only thing that I would say towards that is, we're gonna pray for the young fella, and we hope he does well and he gets through it. But when it comes to the young kids, like the kids that I coach, the only thing I tell them with any situation, know your surroundings. Make sure whoever you have around you, is on the same page. All that stuff comes into play. The basketball is only 5% of it. It's 95% everything else. From what you're doing in school, all that, man. But it's crazy out here right now, and I wouldn't wish this on no kid, because they all trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and you know, I guess one of the topics, more say of a talking point, is his parents and
Mhm.
how two of the six situations they named were from his mom calling him to kind of handle the situation. As a relationship with the head coach and parents are always particularly close because you guys have that mutual interest in the child. Would there be any advice you could probably give the parents as in saying like, "Hey, look, your son now is on the level that many, what is it? Is it 2% of the world makes it to the NBA? 1%, less than
Shoot,
that?
it's a small percentage,
Yeah, it's small percent.
that.
I'm going to say 2% of everybody in the world make it to the league. Your son is in that 2%. We cannot continue to put him in situations that will have him jeopardize his job by losing an NBA contract or even worse, sponsors. What advice, adult to adult, could you maybe have for parents?
And once again, I just talk about, like, with Bryce, for example, with him going through the whole process, and me and his father, Herman Johnson, conversations. We always had conversations about just making sure Bryce knew what was in front of him, and not messing up any opportunities he had, because everybody is watching, and you got a lot of people that want you to fail as well too. But with Bryce, it was just just making sure that he understood that we didn't have time for no new friends. If you ask him today, that same phrase that I always use with him, he'll reiterate that. But it's just making sure we keep the circle tight, and just keep having conversations about the stuff that he needed to get done for him to have an opportunity to stay in that league.
Absolutely. I mean, that's extremely sound advice. And that's my hope for Ja, just because he is from the 864. And right now in the NBA, South Carolina, we're taking a little bit of a hit. We have the Ja situation, and unfortunately, you have everything going with Zion and the injury issues, which I pray he's able to overcome that. But then they're, saying other stuff that doesn't have anything to do with basketball is getting involved. But I'm hoping that that situation somehow resolve soon, so South Carolina can get back on the map. 'Cause, man, we were rolling like
Yeah,
2 years ago. It was looking good for us, man.
I tell you though, that future is bright because, like I said, they calling, and they know that we have a lot of talent, and you know, when they do call, and like me and you talked about before, and they bring up some of them other incidents, and even some stuff with Big Z.
Hmm.
The thing I tell them, all of our kids are different. All of our kids are different. And to look at that combine and see a PJ Hall, a Dylan Jones, like it's so many guys that that gets an opportunity to play in front of so many NBA people, man. Like that's truly a blessing to what they have going on, because they buying into it and they want to be there. They want to play with the best players in the world. So when those execs or those scouts calling me and they asking me those type of questions, like I tell them, these kids are different. All these kids are different. We can't sit there and judge them on anything else that that's going on. Like spend some time with them and continue to do your research. But it's a lot of great talent coming out of South Carolina, man, and I'm excited that it's going to be a lot more that's get this opportunity as well.
And to end everything off, can you just let everybody know the kind of expectations coming up this upcoming season to repeat as national champs?
Well, we got a great group coming back. We lose Trey White. He's going to Catawba. We lose Mike Mitchell. He's going to Erskine. You lose Avante Parker. He's going to Georgia Southern. And then you lose a kid like Devin, who was like a six-man for us this year, and he's going to South Carolina State for football. But those young guys and their families, they trusted the process, and now they get their opportunities. We have a really good feeder program, and we got some young guys that we're going to feature this year as well. And we're excited. We're excited. Everybody asking what's next for me. I can't answer that. I'm at Great Collegiate Academy, and but I'm really excited. I have an unbelievable staff, man. The support system, from our principal and athletic director, and I can't forget about my wife and my kids. They very supportive, so the success goes to them. And I'm gonna just keep working and working hard, man. Keep helping these kids get to where they're trying to get to, on and off the court.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. What's next for Coach Bethea? I'm gonna be following extremely closely.
Yeah, it's a long summer, man. Long summer, man. So we gonna see, and and I tell people this all the time, man. Gray has been um like it has been like an awesome place. Like they treat me so well there. It's a family, the kids and the families, so people are taking notes and they watching. And if a great situation pop up, something like the NBA, that'll kind of be hard to turn down, or even a college opportunity. But like I said, it's all God's plan, and I'm not rushing nothing. I want to make sure it's a great situation for me and my family. So I'm just sitting back and taking my time, man, and enjoying time with my girls, man. It's so important, man. I thought I would have had a little boy, but raising those two girls along with my wife, man. I want to be there every minute. So it's definitely nothing like it. It's an
Yeah.
unbelievable feeling.
Well, hey, Thank you so much for taking time out on this Sunday, man, and joining me. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Appreciate the Tyler, man. Thanks, man.
Our pleasure, man. Anytime, Coach.